Hello everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic day, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the step up spawn that just came back out. This one's going to be looking a lot more expensive than the previous ones that have been coming out. So right off the bat, this is already 40 gems for the first two step ups. Oh, I see why. Oh, okay, I see why. That makes a lot more sense. So this one seems a little bit better, but I'm not going to promise you it's all too much better. We're going to have to look at the reward list and see what they really got cooking, because step up spawns are quite simple. But anyways, moving on from there, this looks like this one's going to be 95 gems. So this is a 95 gem step up spawn, all monster step ups. So that's what's really cool about it, but just because they're all monster step ups doesn't change how the rate system works for each one of these spawns. So with that being said, you're usually going to get 26s or 27s through step 1, usually 28s or 29s through step 2, and 29s or 30s through step 3. That's usually how it's going to go. It's possible, but it's very rarely where you ever get anything of a lot higher cost throughout the whole spawn and everything surrounding that scenario and situation. So with that being said, let's look at the reward pool. I'm already looking at it technically speaking, but anyways, let's see what they got cooking. So they got a bunch of 33s, 32s. One thing I like what they're doing kind of is they're kind of going backwards with some of the stuff, because definitely like Gremory is an easy monster to get with good abilities for player versus enemy. Same for Alexander, and then like Horus is still good for Coliseum versus Day. So that's very, very cool they're doing that. Same for Odin. Odin's just stupid strong, and it's a 33 cost, so it's kind of like outdated cost-wise, but they're still pretty good at everything surrounding that scenario and situation. But anyways, moving on from there. So yeah, with all the stuff they have in here, let me check and see how many 34s they have. They have a lot of 34s. So with that being said, even the highest cost guaranteed has a high chance of popping out for sure, more than the other costs. They don't even have much 35s. They only pop out like 4 35s. I think they had like 6 34s and everything surrounding that. Only 3 36s and 2 37s. So not only are there higher rates for some of the lower cost stuff, but on top of it, they have more of them. So the rates are just butchered for like the higher cost stuff, whether you're going for 35s, which become harder, 36 even becomes harder than that, and 37s become pretty dang hard considering there's only a 2 versus 6, versus like if it was a 1v1 with these type of things, right, the 34 cost would already get better rates in the first place. Not only do they have a significantly more 34 cost than 37, but they also have higher rates. So that just kind of butchers the whole, like, this spawn seems like it might be a good idea, and it would be if you don't have a lot of good monsters, at least for player versus enemy, not for guild crystal or player versus player, but if you don't for player versus enemy, all hands down, it's a good spawn, honestly. At least 1 or 2 times to do, not completely like over and over and over. But other than that, if you have like standards for what you need, like a certain amount of cost that's higher than 34 even, or you just want after certain monsters and everything surrounding that scenario and situation, this ain't gonna do it for you. Including like guild battles and player versus player. There are a couple 33s down there that will do the trick, but honestly, I mean, they do have a 33 cost guaranteed part right here, the second step up. So if you're interested in that, like if you're interested in like Odin or Horus and stuff like that, you could do the second step up. But just keep in mind, all that higher cost stuff, 35 cost plus, it's not going to be popping out much. So don't be fooled by that, because they seem like, oh, so I could just beat the rates out of the spawn because all they're doing is guaranteeing you monsters. First of all, it costs 30 more gems than a regular step up. The regular step ups they usually have 30 more gems. And then the second thing is they're guaranteeing a certain cost, and like they're just like rates are already higher with like the lowest cost guarantee throughout the spawn. And then like on top of it, they're having like no monsters that are like the higher cost versus the lower monsters, which they have a ton of in here. So with that being said, I personally, I mostly don't recommend this. Again, starting off, if you don't mind using 95 gems, you're getting 3 monsters in 1. So that right there is a pretty good deal for like player versus enemy. And maybe if you're interested in like Odin or Horus, you have a chance, you have a shot. You have I'd say a fair to decent shot. There are a crap ton of 33s in here, but it's 33 cost guaranteed. So if you're interested in that, let me check right here for you guys and gals. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, okay, that's a lot. That's a 2 out of 8. So that right there is actually looking quite unfavorable. But if you want to take a shot at it, you could definitely take a shot at trying to get Horus or Odin. But that's actually a lot less fair than I thought it was. So that's not you. I wouldn't recommend this. I'd stay away from this and everything surrounding that scenario and situation. Also, something I want to cover that I was kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have a lot of time, so I kind of got lazy with it. Crystal of Sacred Altar. With this, you definitely, it don't matter, like, you might be looking at it, it's just like, oh, it's 34 cost weapons or 35 cost armors. I don't need to do it. You need to do it. You absolutely need to do it. Especially, you want to chase after the armors. Especially if you're frontline. If you're a soldier, treasure hunter, everything surrounding that. To this day, these help, and it's because of their skill, their concentration skill. It helps boost whatever skill, like it helps boost whatever armor skill is in the main slot. And if you know what you're doing, you could using this ability, even though these are 35 cost, you could tank a lot of more damage than you would regularly without it. So definitely, to this day, these are still very, very useful, and I would recommend getting them whenever you can. The weapons are also useful, not as useful as the armors, because the armors really get whatever you're trying to like accomplish rolling for sure. But they still help. They still help. They help with like weapon skills rather than armor skills. But anyways, moving on from there. That's all I gotta really talk about for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped out. And this is the AzureWrath, and I'll catch you in the next video. It's elemental advantage is it's time, so the elemental advantage will be light and dark. You don't need to destroy your gear score, but if you can get some extra element, it'll help with your score. And that's all for this video. I'll catch you in the next one. It's the AzureWrath. I'm out. Peace.